Well, why is that creepy thing still in our office?
Because I might decide to have another signing for my book.
What for? Mom already has a copy.
Bad news over at the Washington Post, where democracy goes to die in darkness. National Public Radio reports that the Washington Post has been rocked by a tidal wave of cancellations from digital subscribers and a series of resignations from columnists, as the paper grapples with the fallout of owner Jeff Bezos' decision to block an endorsement of Vice President Kamala Harris. Oh my. The privately owned vanity project of a leftist billionaire has lost subscribers? Quick, to the bat phone. More than 200,000 people had canceled their digital subscriptions by midday on Monday, according to two people at the newspaper with knowledge of internal matters. This figure represents about 8% of the paper's paid circulation of roughly 2.5 million subscribers, which includes print as well as digital. The number of cancellations continued to grow throughout Monday afternoon. Regarding cancellation of your WAPO subscription, Post executive editor Marcus Balchili said the following: "It is a way to send a message to ownership, but it shoots you in the foot if you care about the kind of in-depth, quality journalism like the Post produces. There aren't many organizations that can do what the Post does. The range and depth of reporting by the Post journalist is among the best in the world." Yeah, the best propaganda. If only it was still a legitimate newspaper. It stopped being that 25 years ago.
Honey, you don't want that. It's just silly, ghost-written drivel.
Dad, your book didn't sell. Let it go.
Chief executive and publisher Will Lewis on Friday explained the decision not to endorse in this year's presidential race or in future elections as a return to the Post roots. It has for years styled itself an independent paper. The decision by Bezos, the billionaire founder of Amazon, was first reported by National Public Radio back on Friday. In the days since, 2 columnists have resigned from the paper and 2 writers have stepped down from the editorial board. One of those writers, Molly Roberts, warned of the possible consequences of the 11th hour decision to stay quiet rather than publish the editorial endorsing Harris. Donald Trump is not yet a dictator, but the quieter we are, the closer he comes. Good riddance. Actually, Molly, the more you lie about him, the more popular Donald Trump becomes. Now, the other writer is David Hoffman, who accepted a Pulitzer Prize for editorial writing on Thursday, the day before Bezos' decision was made public. Pulitzer judges recognized him for a compelling, well-researched series on new technologies and the tactics authoritarian regimes use to repress dissent in the digital age and how they can be fought. Well, I hope he spent his time focused on the Biden regime and its suppression of free speech with collusion, coercion, and cajoling. Listen to this pompous nonsense. For decades, the Washington Post's editorials have been a beacon of light, signaling hope to dissidents, political prisoners, and the voiceless, said Hoffman in a letter Monday explaining his decision to leave the editorial board. When victims of repression were harassed, exiled, imprisoned, or murdered, we made sure the whole world knew the truth. Really? What have you said about those in prison for misdemeanor offenses and lives destroyed by January 6th? What do you say to those harassed by the Department of Injustice who are conservatives? What do you say to the victims of Biden regime oppression? Nothing. You're quiet. Folks, these are preening, pompous, self-indulgent, arrogant, privileged elites not getting their way. And they toss their toys out of the pram. Now, the sad part about all this is that this disconnected lot do not even realize how stupid they look. I believe we face a very real threat of autocracy and the candidacy of Donald Trump, Hoffman added in his letter to editorial page editor David Shipley. I find it untenable and unconscionable that we have lost our voice. And there you have it, folks. That's what's really going on here. He's bumhurt that he will not have carte blanche to spread his bigoted opinions and lies for the world to see. Go start a blog, David. Bezos publicly broke his own silence late Monday. In his opinion piece, he characterized his decision to end presidential endorsements as an attempt to avoid a perception of bias and non-independence. If only that were true, Jeff. Since you bought this paper of record, it has gone progressively, no pun intended, worse with its propaganda, its lies, its misrepresentations, and its selective choices of what stories to cover. Any stories talking about crime in this country or majority population being targeted or anything that doesn't fit your narrative is not in your paper. So if only it were true that you were independent. The reporting, and especially the op-ed, is pathetic and one-sided, to say the least. What say you, folks?
Sorry about the holdup, Commissioner. What's the problem? You just said it yourself, Batman. A holdup. Big.
We're on our way.